Okay, hello. So we were seeing equivalence in school boards. So Parak under NCRT had submitted an equivalence report to the Ministry of Education aiming to standardize academic standards across school boards. So basically, Parak is a body that was formed by NCRT. So basically, it stands for National Assessment Center set up by NCRT. Means it is a center set up by it is a center which is set up by NCRT, and it expands to performance assessment, review and analysis of knowledge for holistic development. It aims to end the emphasis on rote learning as per the new education policy of 2020. So it will also set the norms, standards and guidelines for the student assessment and evaluation across recognized boards in India. And what is this Parak has suggested recently is equivalence in school boards. Means basically in India there are around 69 school boards with various curriculum types of exam and the structure. So what they want to do is to have some kind of uniformity so that all the students across the country experience very similar kind of education system based on their boards. Then we have artificial intelligence preparedness index. So this is a little bit tricky because the name suggests like it is something to do with artificial intelligence, but the body which releases this is IMF, which is the economic body. So we have to be careful while marking the answer. IMF releases the artificial intelligence preparedness index. It mainly ranks the AI readiness of a country. So it basically classifies countries into advanced economies, emerging markets, and low income countries. So the first rank is basically to Singapore, and India ranks 72 with a score of 0.449, means it is partially ready for the AI, and India has been put under the economic emerging markets and economy. And what are the parameters on which it measures? It measures based on digital infrastructure, human capital and labor market policies, innovation and economic integration and regulation. And what is the impact of AI on jobs? Actually, AI has a potential impact of around 33% job losses in advanced economies, 24% in emerging economic markets, and 18% in low income countries. Then we move to Nexus. So, what is this nexus? Reserve Bank of India and ASEAN countries have decided to create a platform to facilitate instant cross-border retail payments. Means like how we can send payment from one to other through UPI. They want to have an uh, payment system that to instant that to across ASEAN countries. So this is a concept which has been conceptualized by Reserve Bank of India and ASEAN countries, and this is who has given the idea for this was by the Bank of International Settlements. So they basically wants to connect four major countries with this nexus means this UPI type thing. So what are those four countries? The country's name can remember as MPSIT: Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, India and Thailand. Then Phi index. The Reserve Bank has released the Phi index showing the growth, and it has shown the growth of across all the parameters. Actually, it was developed in the year 2021, and it mainly covers the areas like banking, investment, insurance, postal, and also what does basically the financial inclusion index measure? Like what is the penetration of the finance across India? Basically like insurance, banking, like how many people are insured, what is the how many people have the bank accounts, how many people use postal services, especially the banking ones. So that is measured by this financial inclusion index, which is released by RBI. And like what are the parameters it considers? It ranges from 0 to 100. So basically it measures access, quality and inclusion. Then we move to NABFID. So this is National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development. It was set up in 2021 by National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development Act of 2021, which basically means it is a statutory body. Its main aim is to reduce the gap, especially in long-term finances for infrastructure development, and it is regulated and supervised by Reserve Bank of India. And what are the types of funds? Generally, it funds generally long-term funds only. It calls medium funds as from 1 to 5 year, and long-term funds are which are greater than 5 of years. So, why is this bank in news? Because government has increased its capital base to 1 trillion rupees, not dollars. Then we have International Center for Audit of Local Governance. So, International Center for Audit of Local Governance was inaugurated by the CAG, that is the Comptroller and Auditor General of India in Rajkot, that is Gujarat. Then we move to the news related to geography and environment. So species in India. So every year we get new flora and fauna. So now also we have found around 641 fauna and 339 types of flora. 641 fauna actually means animals. So what are some important discoveries that we can remember is one is the Capra himalayensis. So basically this is a species of Himalayan ibex which will be found in Himalayan region, of course, like Kashmir, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, and this one is very important. That is Miniportus srini. So what is this? This is basically a bat which is found in Kodagu district. Means the bat has a bent wing, so it is called as Miniportus srini. So these two are so important species which we need to remember. Other than that, we can ignore. Then we have Pench Tiger Reserve is in news. Why? Because it has deployed an AI system to detect forest fires for the first time. So what is its name? AI Panthera. AI Panthera. So it also has ability to differentiate between smoke and clouds. And where is this Pench Tiger Reserve which they're talking about? It is in Maharashtra, because another one we have that is in Madhya Pradesh also. Funding under the National Green Hydrogen Mission. Center issues schemes guidelines for funding under the National Green Hydrogen Mission. So it has given some new guidelines like how to attract fund for this mission. But what is important for this is about the mission only. So it was launched in the year 2023, and which has a total outlay of around 19,744 crores, that you can remember 20,000 crores. What is its aim? Self-reliance through clean energy and acting as a global inspiration, fossil fuel independence, and leader in the green hydrogen technology. Then we have Groinies. So what is this Groinies? So in a bid to resolve an extensive coastal erosion in Punnataru region in Kerala, the irrigation department is set to construct an 8 groinies with a budget of around 17.5 crores. So basically these are some active structures which we can see on the marina beach, something like this. They basically tend to dissipate the flow from the sea, because they generally have right angle triangle, like they have perpendicular na shape, so the water comes and dissipates, it moves up, so it can go back to the, so the energy is dissipated here. The main function of these is to dissipate the wave energy. Then we have Tazakara. So Tazakara has become the first Gram Panchayat in Alupa, and one of the first in Kerala to update and publish a comprehensive people's biodiversity register with the involvement of local communities. So what is this biodiversity register? So it was actually mandated under the Biological Diversity Act of 2002, and it mainly serves as a detailed record of various aspects of biodiversity. Means any act of biodiversity that is practiced by people locally, it may be related to anything like preservation of any kind of habitat, then land races or domestication of any animal, breeding, microorganisms, or accumulation of any kind of biological knowledge, that has to be documented under this People's Biodiversity Register. Then we have Biodiversity Beyond Natural Jurisdiction Agreement. So recently, Prime Minister has chaired a cabinet meeting and has approved this agreement, that is BBN agreement, that is Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction. So what does it concern about? So the areas after 300 nautical miles from the country can be called as high seas. Means there are no country that have the jurisdiction, legal jurisdiction on such waters. They are also called as high seas. So there the biodiversity is there. Na, that also the countries now wants to conserve, because generally if it is not belonging to us, then the country will ignore it. Why we should take care of such things and all? But no, as per recent United Nations Convention on Laws of Seas, this agreement has been formed beyond biodiversity, beyond natural jurisdiction, and India is also taking active part under it. And Ministry of Earth Science will be implementing this in India. Then we have AgriShore. So this is a new fund which is set up by Government of India. It basically translates to Agriculture Fund for Startup and Rural Enterprises, that is AgriShore. So what is this? This is basically a category 2 kind of alternative fund which mainly provides debt investment to startups and agripreneurs, foster innovation and sustainability in agriculture sector, support high risk high impact activities across agriculture value chain. Means basically it is a fund that is created to promote startups and investment mindset, especially in the farming community. And who is the bank that is supporting this? NABARD. Is it supporting directly? No, it has a subsidiary called as NUB Ventures. Under this it is supporting. So here we had category 2 investment fund. Now what is this? This is basically, there are basically three types of investment fund: category 1, category 2, and category 3. Category 1 investment funds mainly deals with investing in startups, angel investors, which means which deals with the new things. Then we have category 2 alternate investment fund, which mainly invests in equity, debt, and security, means in both money market and capital market. Then we have category 3 investment funds, which mainly includes investing in hedge funds, basically the where money travels very faster, especially with the motto of profit. In category 2 it will be development, and in category 1 it will be fostering new innovation or fostering new startups. Then we have CITES Rosewood, the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, issued guidelines for sustainable harvesting and trade of the rosewood specimen. So not that great important, but we have to know about CITES. So this mainly ensures international trade in wild animals and plants does not threaten their survival, and it was adopted in 1973, but it was enforced, or it came into force in 1975, and it is administered by UNEP, and its headquarters is in Geneva, Switzerland. Then we move to Manjira Wildlife Sanctuary. So Manjira Wildlife Sanctuary is in Telangana, and it is currently under the study to potentially become Telangana's first Ramsar site. So actually it earlier was called as an crocodile sanctuary because it has large population of mugger crocodiles in it, and now they are planning to convert this Manjira Wildlife Sanctuary into a Ramsar site. And some basic facts about this Manjira river: it is a tributary of Godavari, and this Manjira river has a reservoir which mainly is a main source of water for the cities like Hyderabad and Sikandrabad. Then we have National District Mineral Foundation portal. So this was launched by the Union Ministry of Coal and Mines to track the development and utilizations of the fund. So some facts about District Mineral Foundation is it is a statutory body which was formed under the MMDR Act of 2015, that is Mines, Minerals and Development and Regulations Act, and it mainly aims to benefit the people and the place where the mining operations are carried out, and the fund is mainly governed by the relevant state government, and the fund collection takes place at the district level. Then we have a new fund which is called as Climate Finance Action Fund, which was formed in at COP29, which was held in Azerbaijan. So the introduction of this fund took place in the COP29 conference. And what is this capitalization and all? The fund for this is basically contributed by the fossil fuel producing countries and the companies in oil and gas coal sectors. So basically it basically aims to collect around $1 billion of capital from 10 different countries, and then basically want to give this to developing countries so that around they work towards their development goals, and they also will be helpful to fulfilling the nationally determined contribution. And they also want to create another fund called under this only, which is kind of some emergency fund, which is called as rapid response funding facility. And its headquarters will also be in the capital of Azerbaijan, that is Baku. So we have to know about where is Azerbaijan. So this is a region in Central Asia. So this is important because there was a conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan for this region. So this region is called as Nagorno-Karabakh, and another one region we have Lachin corridor. So these are the contested regions here. So Azerbaijan, Armenia. So this is a region that is disputed between these two countries. And what are the countries that are surrounding this one? We have Russia, we have Georgia here, we have Turkey, then we have Iran, and this side we have Caspian Sea. So when Caspian Sea comes, we should know what are the countries that surround Caspian Sea. To remember, we have a code for this. This is Tariq. That is Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, Russia, Iran, and Kazakhstan. Then we move to Oro Pouchy fever. So Italy has reported this first case. Actually, this is a disease which is generally found in the Latin America and the South American countries. So now Europe has got this. So now it becomes a problem of the entire world. So this is in news. Oro poacher fever. So this is mainly a vector bound, which is mainly transmitted by the midges, which looks like some mosquito and all. So there is no evidence of transfer from humans to humans. So Italy can be safe because there is no transmission from human to human. Then we have Global AI Summit. This year was held in India by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology at Delhi. So it basically aimed to advance the responsible development, deployment, and adoption of AI. And it is hosted in India mainly because India currently is the chair of this organization called as GAPI, Global Partnership on Artificial Intelligence. So some basic facts about this. This was actually formed in the year 2020, and it is open to all countries. Means any country can join this forum. And at present only 28 members are there, including European Union is also part of this GAPI, and India is one of the founding members. So secretariat for this is basically OECD Paris. Means it is in Paris. Then we have Technology Development Fund Scheme. DRDO sanctions seven new projects to private sector under Technology Development Fund. Means basically a DRDO, which is operating this fund, has given money to seven new projects under private sector. So we have to know about this Technological Development Fund Scheme. So this is basically by DRDO under Ministry of Defense. Why? Mainly because to become self-reliant and to promote Make in India. And what does this do? This basically encourages the MSMEs and startups, especially to produce goods and services that are generally related to defense. So, are when it is related to defense, are only public companies eligible? No, nothing like that. Public companies, private companies, partnership based LLPs, and one person company, a sole proprietorship, anything is possible. But the only condition is FDI allowed maximum is 49%, and the head of the organization should be an Indian citizen because it is dealing with defense. And they can give around 10 crore rupees or 90% of the funding, whichever is the smallest one. Then the project duration has to be maximum for 2 years. Then we have indigenous Navik chip development. So DRDO partners with the Bangalore firm, whose name is Accord Software and Systems, to develop this Navik chip. Some basic things about this Navik. Navik basically stands for Navigation with Indian Constellation. And who is the developer of this? ISRO. It basically has three geostationary and four geosynchronous satellites, and it has a range of around nearly 1500 kilometers from the borders of Indian territory, and its accuracy within the territory of India it is 10 meter, and within these 1500 meter it is 20 meters. And it also has a feature of interoperability. Means it can also operate with the global navigation systems like GNSS, GPS, GLONASS, and Galileo and Baidu of China. Then we have Medvis platform. So the World Health Organization has launched Medvis, an online platform designed to serve as a global open access clearinghouse for medical device information. It aims to assist government regulators and users in decision making. So what is this basically? Medvis platform is, this is basically comparison platform. Suppose India wants to buy some kind of medical device through a global body. So what it can go is to go through this medical Medvis platform and see what are the options available for this kind of devices. Then it can compare there also what feature it has, what is the price of this, and what are the difference between these two. Basically, it is like the app which we have na Carwala and all, where we compare two different cars, best which is the best to buy. Similarly, this is if we want anything related to medicine, vaccines, or medical devices. This is a platform, Medvis platform, which is operated by WHO. Next, we have NASA's Chappe project. So a this is a news basically because I think the NASA has concluded the crew means NASA's crew has concluded an year-long simulated Mars mission. So basically now it is clear it is basically preparation mission for crewed Mars mission. They had spent 1 year in the water-like conditions where the simulation of Mars was done. So this Chappe basically translates to crew health and performance exploration analog, and it is was a member 4 members mission whose head was Kelly Haston, who was a mission commander. Basically, in they have put they have taken a swimming pool and they have filled it with water, and inner there is a small or kind of thing, and there 4 people have stayed for the entire year. This is very big, not the small. So basically to stimulate the environment of Mars, so living in small space, if they travel to Mars now, so they want to do test how it does this work, and they have tested this under this Chappe project. Then we have tra- tirizipatide and semaglutide. So what are these two basically? These basically are the chronic weight reducing or weight management drugs which have got recent approval from the FDA. Then we have Chandipur virus. 6 children have recently died because of this Chandipur virus in Gujarat. Actually, this is not found in Gujarat much. This is seen much in the regions of the south, actually. But now the 6 children in Gujarat have been affected and they have died. And this is caused by sandflies and mosquitoes also. And it is transmitted to humans through bites. And what does its main impact is? Mainly it impacts brain. So seizures, encephalitis and brain inflammation are possible. Historic, it is found generally in regions like Maharashtra, northern Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh and all, and it is most active in the monsoon season. Then government roadmap to incentivize EV technology. Government draws up to 1150 crore roadmap to indigenize the EV technology. Basically, the Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government of India has prepared this plan, and it basically aims to reduce the vehicular pollution by 45% by 2030, achieve energy independence by 2047, and reach net zero by 2070. This is the main target of this. And if they ask a question like what is the current EV registration data, which are the maximum vehicles, like we might think scooty we are seeing more with related to EVs, and also scooty are maximum. No, scooties or these two-wheelers are only 5.3%, but the 53% of the electrical vehicles currently running on the road are e-rickshaws, and the least one are the four vehicles with a market share of around 2.2% only. Then we have rain. So this is basically rural agriculture innovation. It's the CCAMP Science Memorandum of Agreement with Swaminathan Foundation for this RAIN, that is Rural Agriculture Innovation. What are those two parties? One is a CCAMP and another one is a MS Swaminathan Research Foundation. What does it basically say? As the name only suggests, it basically promotes deep science innovation and entrepreneurship in food and agriculture sector. I think still some is there. Okay, we can finish this. Second stage nuclear program. Yeah, we can finish this. Okay. Then we have in space opportunities for startups and MESS in marine sector. So basically, the Indian National Space Promotion Authorization Center has announced opportunities for the startups and MSMEs in the marine sector also. Then MVC change. So this is the world's first commercial passenger ferry which is powered 100% by hydrogen fuel. The MVC change was launched recently in San Francisco. Then we have CEPI, which is Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness Innovation. Recently, the Ministry of Science and Technology has inaugurated research which is related Asia's first research which is related to preclinic network facility under the Coalition of Epidemic Preparedness Innovation in Faridabad, Haryana. So this is a body which is important rather than the news. So this CEPI was found in the year 2017, and between this is the contribution by Norway and India, billion million development Foundation and World Economic Forum. Then we have mission. What is its mission? To accelerate vaccine and biological countermeasure development. Basically, it aims to develop 100 days mission to develop safe and effective and a global accessible vaccine within 100 days of the new threat. Basically, what it does is this body has been formed to react very quickly to any kind of pandemics happening. So it was formed in 2017, but it is not that effective because we saw it did not to perform well during COVID-19. So this is a coordination between Norway, India, and Bill and Melinda Gates and World Economic Forum. Basically, they tell that they will develop any kind of vaccine within 100 days for any kind of diseases which comes. So this is CEPI, whose headquarters is in Faridabad, Haryana. Then we have Geological Survey of India GSI portal. So Union government inaugurates the National Landslide Forecasting Center at Kolkata inside this Geological Survey of India's headquarter, and this has launched two main important apps with respect to land. One is the Bhusanket web portal and another one is the Bhustalan mobile app. So basically, it is mainly beneficially for the region of West Bengal and Karnataka, especially the Nilgiri districts and Darjeeling districts. What does it basically do? It mainly live forecast the landslide prones, means the landslide activities. And some other facts about Survey of India was it is established in the year 1851 with the purpose of geological information and mineral resource assessment, and it not only researches with respect to the ground but also air and marine surveys, and its headquarters is in Kolkata. Then we have the voice box. So this is a collaboration between Netflix India and National Film Development Corporation. What does this basically do? This mainly does the upskilling program with respect to voice or artist, because there is a current trend of watching regional movies in Hindi and English na? So they want to utilize the dubbing artist, upskilling of these dubbing artists. And what are the languages that are covered? English, Hindi, Marathi, Bengali, Malayalam, Tamil, Telugu and Gujarat, but no Kannada. So remember this one. If in the option they have given Kannada is also a part of Voicebox project of Netflix, no, it is not. And they also have asked to maintain the gender ratio of around 50% women, and the people who work on this and they perform well are around 7 people of them of the each batch will be get to work on Netflix project Azadi Ki Amrit Kahaniya. And who is funding this? Netflix, of course. It will be do for the this will be doing for the next 5 years. Then we have air breathing propulsions. So air breathing propulsion, ISRO has completed the second test flight of this, and the rocket used is RH-560. Here RH basically stands for Rohini 560 sounding rockets. Means basically they travel in an parabolic shape. So this is, if this is atmosphere, they travel from here to here, go does recharge and come back to Earth. So this is basically Rohini sounding rockets. So basically they only have two stage. For example, the two that they have solid stage motors working, and it does not move out of the space. It stays within the space. Just do the research like a calculate any kind of humidity data and all, then come back. And what is this function of air breathing technology currently? It basically aims to utilize atmospheric oxygen for combustion and eliminating the need to carry any oxidizer. Then we have DigiPin. So Department of Posts have released this beta version of DigiPin for public comments and expert opinions. So what is the objective? Its objective is to establish a standardized geocode address system in India, and Department of Post and IIT Hyderabad is coordinating for this digital postal index number, that is DigiPin. So what is basically is, currently we have pin codes now like 587101, 587102, something like that. So these pin which are currently are not that useful because they generally call us or they ask us the location and all. So they are planning to have a digital pin code only. So that is only this DigiPin. So we can just enter our digital pins, for example the latitude and longitude, then the postman will directly come on delivery here only. Then we have Growth India Telescope. So this is a part of global relay of observatory watching telescopes that mainly watch the transient happen. So what does it basically expands to? Growth basically stands for global relay of observatories watching transients happen. They basically look at the sky regularly and see what are the events happening. So what this is the mainly work of this growth network, and India is also part of this. So India has recently captured a 116 meter sized asteroid during this Growth India telescope event. So India has a fully robotic optical research telescope which is in Hanle, Ladakh, under the Indian Astronomical Observer, and it is a project which is built by the collaboration between IIT Bombay and Indian Institute of Astrophysics. Then we have to also be aware of F1 Cas9. So what is this basically? Cas9, if it comes, means know that it is something related to CRISPR-Cas9. So Indian scientists from CSIR, LV Prasad Eye Institute have developed an improved CRISPR system using the Cas9 enzyme for more precise and efficient genome editing. So basically this is also a genome editing tool. Then India has successfully moved to second stage of nuclear program. So India has nuclear regulator has allowed Department of Atomic Energy to operationalize the 500 megawatt prototype fast breeder reactor in Kalpakam, that is in Chennai. So what is this importance of this prototype? The importance of this prototype fast breeder reactor at the Kalpakam is that with this move, India officially enters into the second phase of its three-stage nuclear power plant program, which was actually envisioned by Homi Baba. So what does this basically, what are those three-stage reactor we should know? So in the stage one, which we are currently in most of the facility, we are in stage one only except this Kalpakam. It is called as pressurized heavy water reactors are used, where they use the natural uranium, that is uranium 235 they use as a fuel, and the heavy water is both used as a moderator and coolant under this, and the works of all this is managed by Nuclear Power NPCI, that is Nuclear Power Corporation of India. So when we move from stage 1 to stage 2, we call the stage 2 as fast breeder reactors. So these are new category of breeder reactors which mainly used plutonium based, means if we reduce 2 from the uranium, it will become plutonium 233. So with this plutonium we are using in this fast breeder reactors. And what do we use the main here is sodium we are using as a coolant, and this is also main reason for conflict because this is has a higher issues of safety concerns. So this is also the issue of fast breeder reactors. And then we use after this, and this implementation agency for the second phase is also important. It is called as Bhavani, Bharatiya Nabayik Vidyut Nigam. Means like how we have NTPC for coal, and this NPCI for the first phase of reactors. This is Bhavani for this second stage. After this second stage, then we know this is uranium 238. Actually when we subtract 2, it's become plutonium 235, and again if we remove 2 from that, either plutonium 235 minus 2, then we will be getting thorium, actually thorium 233 something. Yeah, this will be used in this stage of reactor. Means if this is a waste generated from this one will be used here, and the waste generated from the second will be used in the third stage, something like that. Basically here we are going to use thorium in the third stage. Thorium is basically much suited because we have large amount of thorium reserve, especially in the southern coastal cities of India. And one important thing about fast breeder reactors is we are going to get more nuclear fuel than we used actually. Okay, I think defense is there. We'll see them tomorrow. Thank you.